All right, thank you. Good afternoon. It is almost high noon here in Pearland, Texas. This is one of the fields that, one of the complexes that is being used for the 2024 NAGAAA Cup, hosted by the city of Houston, the Montrose League. They're using fields here and other parts of southeast Texas, in addition to the fields that they would normally use in Houston for the tournaments that they have there. Rich Siegel joined this afternoon by Dr. Joel Tremblay. We have a game coming up. This is going to be, I guess this is a newer team because I haven't heard of them, but the Fort Lauderdale Team Florida is going to play the Long Beach Tricky Six. Lineups are being exchanged at home plate. This is the second game of the Cloud Sports Network this morning or this afternoon on a rather, well, it's definitely an overcast day. The sun tries to break through the clouds periodically. Otherwise, it is just a cloudy, gray day. Temperatures are in the low 80s right now, and the humidity is matching those temperatures. It's rather humid across southeast Texas today because there's a cold front coming tonight, and that's going to give this area a dousing of rain. They're looking at some 2 to 4 inch rain totals before the rain ends during the overnight, and that will wet the field significantly. No part of this area is going to escape the rain, but some will get more rain than others. That's enough about the weather. Our first game this morning that we just completed was a run rule game featuring the Los Angeles Thunder and the Austin Yass. Austin Yass, one of the newer teams in NAGAAA, and 19 to 5 was the final score, or 19 to 4 was the final score. So it was a 15-run rule after 4 innings. The umpires for this game, the home plate umpire is going to be David Campbell from Fort Lauderdale, and on the base is James Walker from Oklahoma City. And so we have the lineups having been exchanged. Um, we have Joel entering the lineups in his sheet because I obviously cannot read these at all because the handwriting is just too much, but I'm going to try my best. It looks like the Fort Lauderdale Team Florida will be the home team for this game, and the Tricky Sticks will obviously be the visiting team.
And the team Florida from Fort Lauderdale is in part because there is another team from Fort Lauderdale, which I believe is the South Florida United.
You might have heard that there's a player on the Fort Lauderdale team who's a little angry right now because one of his players is not on the field. He's at a different field doing whatever he's doing, and that resulted in a little, hey, get over here.
And as Rich said, sometimes these lineups are a little bit hard to read and we're trying to do them quickly, so we'll just let you know that some folks we have last names on, some folks we have first names on, some folks we have positions easy on. We try to go from whatever the team gives us and use as much as possible.
We have the third of the three carbon pack. You know, one time at Minneapolis, I was asked if there was one thing that you guys need that would really help you, what would it be? And I said a four carbon pack for the lineup sheets, and we would get the second. But that hasn't happened, so the Tricky Six will bat first. They've already played a game. Did you win it? Okay. Twice? Oh my goodness. Thank you for letting me know. I'm sorry that it happened that way. One of the Tricky Six ball players letting me know that they have lost their 2 games by walk-offs. All right, so our game about to start. Again, the clock started at 11:59 in a 55-minute contest. And I'll do my best on these names.
And I had some time to scribble them down, Rich, so this first batter is Marcos Castaneda.
And the first pitch to him is a ball outside. They start with a 1-1 count. That pitch sails inside, ball 3-1. And that pitch is a little bit inside for a ball. It's a 4-pitch walk. Well, 3-pitch walk.
3-pitch walk.
And that'll bring up Porter.
For those just joining us, the 3-pitch walk, that is ball 4 because all the batters start with a 1-1 count. We'll go over this a little bit again as we go through, but 1-1 count. And that is the sign for an illegal pitch, which means in that case it didn't make it 6 feet in the air.
The next one, that's a strike called. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. And there's a ground ball underneath the first baseman's glove and on into right field for a base hit. Porter reaches, and on the play, Castaneda heads to third. It's 1st and 3rd with nobody out.
And that's going to bring up Alfred Lopez. And if you're wondering there, yes, the runner might have gotten in the way of that first baseman playing that ball, but that runner is entitled to that strip that they're running on, and so everything fine there. You didn't see an umpire or even the team's question. Sometimes they'll argue for an interference or obstruction, but not that time.
There's a pop-up behind home plate, and the catch is made by the catcher, who does a little dance after making that play. Williams celebrating the out, and it's now 1st and 3rd with 1 out, and that'll bring up the right center fielder, looks like Fisher. And the first pitch to him is a strike call.
So there's also a courtesy foul in this tournament, which means if they have 2 strikes and hit a foul ball, they get 1 more pitch to swing at, or 1 more swing to make.
The next one is hit in the air to straightaway center field. It's got some carry to it, and it looks like the catch is made, the out is made. They throw in to second base. A run scores as Castaneda comes home to score, and on the play, Porter to second base. It's the 2nd out of the inning, and it is 1-0 for Long Beach Tricky Sticks. This is the 5th batter in their order.
Yes, this is George, I believe it's Mandajano.
And he swings and lines one into left field. It's down for a base hit. A run is going to score as Porter motors around third and comes in to score. And it is now 2-0.
And this is going to bring up Don Garcia, I believe it is. There's 2 Garcias on this team. The next one, amusingly enough, is Jerry Garcia.
And the first pitch to him is inside.
You know, Rich, in that first game, you mentioned how fast the pitcher was going. This one may be going even faster.
And Garcia almost hit by that pitch. It'll be 3 balls and a strike.
And those 2 pitches on the inside, I think that may be the wind again. We do have a crosswind that would be blowing into the right-handed hitters here.
Giving thanks for the breeze that we have today. It takes a little bit of the edge off the humidity. Oh, thank you. And that pitch is a ball. So, the first of the 2 Garcias walks. And here is Jerry Garcia. No relation to the Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor.
Well, that ends all my fun.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It's runners at 1st and 2nd, and the first pitch to Garcia is a ball. Ronnie Brown is on deck, and that pitch hits him. I saw the wind take that one. That was an easy one to see. That ball started down the center, but it curved, and it hit him in the shoulder.
So when I play, I'm usually pitching, and this can be fun because you can throw it over the outside corner and have it hook in, but you have to get it right so it would be at least look like a strike.
Line drive head out into left field. Left fielder moves over about 20 steps to his left and makes the out, and the inning is over. 2 runs scored in the first inning for Long Beach. The Tricky Sticks take the early lead, 2-0, with the Team Florida from Fort Lauderdale coming about here on the Cloud Sports Network.
And we are going to take these mid-inning changeovers to tell you about some of our sponsors, the sponsors of Cloud Sports and or the IPS or NAGAAA Cup. We want to tell you this time about Molson Coors. This game is brought to you by Molson Coors, where celebrating diversity, equity, and inclusion isn't just a moment, it's a movement. That's why International Pride Softball is proud to recognize Molson Coors as more than just a sponsor for the 2024 International Pride Softball NAGAAA Cup. They're a partner. We also want to remind you that if you're watching at home on Facebook, you probably have friends or family members playing, so be sure to tag them in the comments so they can find their games. share these sites with friends and family so they can watch. And while you're at it, let us know who you're rooting for, what players you're rooting for, what teams you're rooting for, where you're from. We like our audience to be part of this broadcast, and if you give shout-outs and things like that, we will try to find them and get them read out to the players from your family.
Thank you. First three batters for Team Florida will be Young, Almeida, and McFadden here in the bottom of the first. It is 2-0 for Long Beach, but this will be Florida's first at-bat. And the first pitch is a strike called. This home plate umpire does a much quicker job of signifying the strikes and the illegality of that pitch, which is way inside and not even close to being more than 6 feet. Or, yeah.
Looked like I would have thought it was more than 6. Maybe it was more than 12. I'm not sure.
And there's a fly ball hit out into right field. The ball is a foul ball, and it's 2-2. He's not. Garcia is the pitcher for the Tricky Six, and that pitch is low. And the next one is inside. So the leadoff batter walks for Florida, and that'll bring up Almeida. Where's number 24? Bats from the right side. And McFadden will be the on-deck hitter.
Right, so I think, Rich, that might have been our first courtesy runner of the day, or the first one I called. So at any point in an inning, once an inning, you can replace any runner that you want to with somebody from your lineup card who's faster.
First pitch was a strike. Second pitch is a ball. 2-2. And here is the 2-2 delivery. That is way outside, and the count is full again. 3-2. Pitcher working a little fast. And he swings and lifts one in the air to shallow left center field. That ball is in for a single. It was in that in-between area between short, left center, and right center. So it's first and second with nobody out, and McFadden will be the batter.
I grew up calling
Higgins
that a
on deck.
flare. I believe our producer, Roman Jimenez, calls that a duck snort.
And the first pitch to McFadden gets by the catcher and all the way to the backstop. And the next pitch is inside. Lots of room here in foul ground.
Lots of room.
Lots. It's like 20 steps from the dugout to home plate.
Tough call there. That ball was centered over the plate. It wasn't inside like the other pitches, but in the umpire's estimation, it was too deep.
I'm sorry?
I was just going to say, it's not about where the ball lands. It's supposed to cross the player while it's going over the plate between the shoulders and the knees, and I guess that one did not.
Ellis swings and lines one into left center field, and that ball is gone. That's a grand slam. First home run of the ball game for either team. And so quickly, it's a 2-0 deficit to a 4-2 lead, and the fifth batter is Newsom is what I have. Newsom. And he reaches, and that'll bring up Ellis.
So this is a mixed A-B division. So for most of the games we broadcast, each team can have 3 over-the-fence home runs. As you saw if you watched our last broadcast, anything more than that, and it is an inning-ending out.
And the first pitch to Ellis is a ball.
If we actually have 2 A teams play each other, you may be allowed to have 5 runs. We'll see how they play that.
Bounce back to the pitcher to short for 1 on the first safe. Ellis beats the relay throw from the shortstop to the first baseman, but it is the first out of the inning.
That was a close play. As you'll see out there, there are 2 umpires. Our home plate umpire wearing the sort of beige color jersey, and then out between first and second is the other umpire for the bases.
This is Jackson. 4-2 our score, with Florida leading Long Beach. And that pitch hit him inside.
That is not an automatic walk.
That's a brushback pitch, right? Okay, so that's 2 balls and a strike. And the next delivery is a strike call, 2-2.
And those umpires are behind the plate. I believe we have David Campbell from Fort Lauderdale, and then out between first and second is James Walker. So it's the same umpires as our last game. They just switched positions.
There's a line drive into left field for a hit. And the ball is bobbled in the outfield by the left fielder, so the base runner is going to come all the way around to score on a single and an error. Ellis with speed made it all the way home from first base. It'll be a single and an error, and that puts Jackson at second base. And that'll bring up Rodriguez. And that pitch is inside. And that pitch is a strike, 2-2. Santana will be next. Here's a pitch. Not like a strike to me, but apparently not. That pitch is sailing outside, and it's another walk.
So the one that you thought was a strike, it did come right down the pipe over the plate, but it was judged to have been too deep. And then that one, you saw the arm go out horizontally. That was illegal. It didn't reach 6 feet.
Yeah. Santana takes a strike. And the next one is hit in the air to shallow right field. Right fielder comes in, makes the basket catch, and that's the second out of the inning. That's the batter. And the first pitch is inside for a ball. Runners are at first and second. 5 runs have scored in this inning. And there is a fly ball hit out in the left field. Left fielder drifts back and makes the one-handed catch, and the inning is over. 5 runs score in the inning here in the bottom of the first inning. So after an inning of play, here our new score becomes the Team Florida from Fort Lauderdale 5 and the Long Beach Tricky Sticks 2 on the Cloud Sports Network.
So we are here broadcasting from the International Pride Softball NAGAAA Cup. The whole organization used to be known as NAGAAA and recently rebranded as International Pride Softball. But as we discussed in our last game, the 2 major things that are staying NAGAAA are this NAGAAA Cup, which has traditionally been A and B softball teams, but now includes our Legends divisions, which is players 50 and older. They're at a different field right now. And the NAGAAA Hall of Fame, of which you are a member, I believe, Rich.
Speaking of, well, that's not speaking of. We want to congratulate the 7 inductees that will be enshrined into the NAGAAA Hall of Fame in Las Vegas on the Sunday that we will all convene. Our congratulations to Richard McCracken of Atlanta, Susie Arnold of Milwaukee, Chicago, Dan Hagen from Seattle, Tom Abbas from your league in San Diego, Charlie Waters from Tampa, Tony Mace from Washington, and Peter Ho from Palm Springs. All well deserved. We congratulate them, and I hope they have as much fun that night as we have had, and Roman had last year, and I had a few years ago. It's just a really nice night for that event. So that's going to happen on Sunday. That's going to happen on Sunday, not normally on Tuesday or Wednesday, but this year on Sunday. All right, in the top of the second inning,
that was Ronnie Brown sort of fisting a little single out there over the second baseman's head.
And that'll bring up
Ivan Briseño.
Thank you, Briseño.
Ivan, another one who's played around in Southern California a while. Played with our San Diego teams, played with Long Beach teams.
And the next pitch to him is swung on and bounced foul down the third base line.
Great to see Tom Abbas getting inducted. Tom was actually the commissioner when I joined America's Finest City Softball League.
There's a line drive in the left center field. That's in for a hit. It'll be first and second. Ronnie Brown stops at second base, and that is a first 2 on here.
I had played 1 year with the Gay League in San Francisco and then moved to San Diego and asked how do I get set up. Somebody gave me Tom's number, and he had me on a team right away.
Well, we thank him then for your being a part of this whole thing. Chris Lawson, the batter. And Chris takes a pitch inside. He is playing in the Austin League this year. So he's actually playing up because he plays for a C team in Austin. And Lawson swings and lifts one in the air to shallow right field. Second baseman and right fielder converge, and did he catch that ball? He did
caught
catch
that ball.
There's a da-da-da play.
And that's why we like to keep going with this high level of softball with the A and B players. In C and D, that probably drops. That was an amazing play. That's some great softball.
Paul Ricks, the batter. And he takes a pitch deep for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. And here's a grounder to short. They get an out at second for 1. They throw it back to third, and the runner is safe. Tried to get the runner heading to third base. They did get the force out. The force out will go 6-4, so it'll be first and third back to the top of the order in Castaneda.
With a walk in the first inning.
And he takes this pitch inside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. And the next one, Castaneda swings and lines one into left center field, and that ball is off the fence. Ronnie Brown scores. The other runner coming around third. There may be a play at the plate, and he's out. He is out. Excellent relay, left center field to the shortstop, to the catcher, and the out is made, and that ends the inning. 1 run did score ahead out. Everybody celebrating on the third base side of the field. That's where the Fort Lauderdale team is. And so a run does score. It is now 5-3 as we head to the bottom of the second here on the Cloud Sports Network.
And our sponsor for this second inning is Beam Suntory. Beam Suntory Group is committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Through the years, Suntory Group companies have committed to recognizing, valuing, and respecting diversity and actively promoting and fostering inclusion. That's why they're proud to continue their partnership with International Pride Softball and the 2024 NAGAAA Cup. Come to think of it, Rich, a little Jim Beam Kentucky bourbon sounds pretty good right now.
Yes, it does.
With this wet, maybe a mint julep at this hour?
What is in a mint?
Alcohol.
Bourbon, simple syrup, muddled mint. I believe that's most of it.
Well, that was a more thorough answer.
All right, this is Samuels to lead off in the bottom of the second inning. He is
She plays first, I think.
and the next delivery. That's number 25 or 55. It's 25. And that'll bring up Williams, who wears number 4. He is the last batter in their order, and then we swing back to the top of the order. So a runner at first base and nobody out on the walk. And the perch to Williams is a strike called. Young and Almeida will bat behind him, and Young takes the pitch outside for a ball. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a swing and a line drive into left field, and the ball drops in front of the outfielder for a hit, and it's runners at first and second. Errant throw on the throw from the outfield, but the first, and it looks like the pitcher backed up the play, so there was no further advancement by the runner. And it is first and second with nobody out, and the leadoff batter, Young, will pitch. He walked and scored in the first inning. He scored his team's first run. And they're talking about a courtesy runner, but so far I don't. So I think they wanted to put in a courtesy runner, but that wasn't going to happen. The runner at second base said, get off the field. First pitch to Young is a strike. This pitcher works a lot slower than his counterpart, and the next pitch goes inside and actually behind the batter, 2-2.
In that courtesy runner discussion, Rich, I did hear something about it perhaps being the pitcher, which is interesting.
There's a foul ball down the left side, hit well, but foul.
So most of the rules we use for International Pride Softball and NAGAAA are from USA, which is a softball organization. But that covers lots of different kinds of softball. And they put in a rule that you always get a courtesy runner for the pitcher. We have decided with International Pride Softball not to use that rule, but some folks in their different leagues, places they play, do have that rule and wonder if we don't have it too. But we do not here with International Pride Softball.
The next pitch comes inside, ball 3. Full count. And that pitch is swung on, and he grounded up the middle and on into left center field for a hit. They'll go station to station on that, and the bases are going to be loaded.
And in asking about that new pitcher courtesy run rule, my understanding from folks who in the know say that that's mostly for very competitive softball leagues where the pitcher as well as the catcher wears a lot of gear that they have to put back on.
Fly ball hit out into left center field. The ball is down for a hit. Samuel scores. Williams scores. It'll be a double. And on the play, Young to third base. It is second and third. Nobody out here in the top of the second. Another pair of runs comes across. And it is 7-3. With McFadden the batter, runners at second and third, and nobody out, no force play. There's a swing and a fly ball hit out into right center field, giving chase the right fielder and the right center fielder. It drops in front of both of them. 1 run will score. 3 runs have scored in the inning as Young crosses the plate. And still nobody out, still 2 runners on. It'll be Higgins the batter. He's the cleanup batter. Newsom on deck. And here's the first pitch to him. Swung on and hit high and deep to left center field. I can't see the ball, but it's out of here. It's over the fence. My vision was blocked by the third baseman, so the ball lands beyond the outfield, and that's a 3-run homer. Six runs have scored in the inning. It's now 11-3 for Fort Lauderdale, and that'll bring up Newsom.
And if you saw the home run hitter just turn around and go to the dugout, they're allowed to do that now. It used to be you had to make it to first or run the bases, but you don't have to do that anymore.
Why did they do that?
I think everybody's trying to just get the game moving faster. Same thing with that rule about the pitchers in other leagues.
And we have another home run off the bat of Newsom.
And we could hear it from the dugout. That was the Team Florida's 3rd home run, and so we must be playing with 3 because they pointed out to themselves no more home runs. Again, that wouldn't just be an out, an inning out. That one by Higgins, Rich, that looked like it could have hit your car. You parked specifically not right behind the fence, and still it went over the first row of cars.
I can see my car. The lights are flashing. All right, so 7 runs have scored in the inning. It is now 12-3. Ellis is the batter, and he takes a pitch a little deep. And the next one on the plate, he walks. And here is Jackson.
So the way the tournament works is there is pool play where teams play each other just to kind of find out who's doing well, and then they will take those pool play results and seed the brackets for the double elimination tournament. That is going to happen after this game, so we will be taking a break after this one while they do the seedings, then we will come back to you with tournament play.
That's a line drive up the middle. It gets between the two outfielders. Ellis will come around to score on a double by Jackson, and another run has scored, and still nobody out. 8 runs have come across, 13-3. Jackson at second base. This is Rodriguez. Santana on deck. And the next one. That pitch is a ball. And that pitch is a strike. Runner at second base, nobody out. And the pitch is swung on and popped up on the infield. Second baseman back a few steps, makes the one-handed catch, and that is the first out of the inning on a pop-up. And that'll bring up Santana. Stacks is on deck.
Santana with a fly ball to right that was caught in the first inning.
He's got a runner in scoring position at second base and one out here in the bottom of the second. And that pitch is lined in the opposite field, in the right field. It's down for a hit, and a run is going to score. And they finally realized that the runner at second base had rounded third and was going to try to score, and they finally threw in. However, Jackson was able to beat the play at the plate. It's the 9th run of the inning, and it is now 14-3. And Stacks the batter.
We're going to put it in here in just a few minutes.
The next pitch, first pitch. Grounded liner to second base. They throw back to first, and out. Double play, liner to second for the first out, and then 4-3 to get the runner who had carried off first base a little too soon, and that ends the second inning. However, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9 runs have come across here in the bottom of the second. And our new score as we go to the top of the third is now Team Florida from Fort Lauderdale 14 and the Long Beach Tricky Sticks 3 on the Cloud Sports Network. Is that new? Yeah. No. Whew.
We're normally in long sleeves.
Okay.
So if you saw our last game, you know that there are run rules in effect here. So the run rules are 20 after 3 innings, 15 after 4 innings, or 10 after 5 innings. So even though there were a lot of runs scored, we are still pretty far away from any kind of run rule coming up here in the third inning. And leading off here for the Tricky Sticks is going to be Daniel Porter, the second base person. He had a single in the first inning and scored.
All right. Porter draws the walk, and Lopez will be the batter, Alfred Lopez.
And I'm still thinking a lot of these walks are due to the wind here. There's
a smash down the third baseline. That's a fair ball, and it'll be a single, solid hit over the third base bag. I'm sorry, go ahead, first and second.
Yep, just going to say a lot of teams, a lot of pitchers pitch inside to try to jam people, get them to hit to where the heart of the defense is, often the best player at shortstop. I think these pitchers are trying to pitch on the inside, and it gets blown further in, too far in like that pitch by the wind.
This pitch is a ball. So Fisher walks, and the bases are going to be loaded.
So this should be George, I think it's Mandahano.
Mandahano will be the batter, and the first pitch to him is a ball, a little deep.
If Mandahano can hit it over the fence, this would be a good time.
And that pitch comes inside. It is a ball, and the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. And that is a walk and a run.
The tough part of this win for the pitchers, as I think we mentioned before, is that it's not consistent. It's little gusts, it's a little breeze here and there, and so you can't just get in a groove and keep hitting it. You've got to sort of adjust with every pitch.
Porter scored on that one, and now the batter is Don Garcia. His brother, I'm assuming his brother Jerry Garcia, is in the on-deck circle, and that pitch is inside. And so the count is 3 balls and a strike, and the next delivery is inside, and he walks, and another run comes in. And the bases are still loaded. Don Garcia walks, Jerry Garcia the batter. And the first pitch to him is a ball. Outside, 3 balls and a strike.
And you can see him trying to move his mark outside to hope it curves back over a little too far.
And that pitch is inside, and for the third straight batter, a 3-pitch walk plates another run. The bases are still loaded, and Ronnie Brown the batter. So the score is now 14-7, 14-6. Ronnie Brown takes a ball.
And this is a spot where you might be wondering if they're going to change pitchers. Some teams don't have another pitcher that could travel with them. We'll see. And the other thing is, with this wind, the next pitcher is going to have possibly a harder time adjusting.
That pitch was deep. This pitch was also deep. The 4th consecutive 3-pitch walk, and it is now 14-7.
And I will say,
and now here comes a new pitcher.
The most you can ask from an umpire is consistency. So many things are judgment calls. I would say this umpire has been consistent, but I would also say he is giving a tight strike zone. Some of the illegal low and illegal high, and the pitches that looked like they were down the pipe but just a little too deep. Sometimes you're stuck in a situation where you only have 2 pitches, a ball and a meatball, and you don't want to throw the meatball with the bases loaded.
The new pitcher is going to be Jackson. He moves from the I'm trying to find what position he was playing before. That's right, I don't have positions for this thing, so he must have been the designated player, extra hitter. And so he's thrown his complement of warm-up tosses, and the first pitch is a ball. And the next one airs a strike. That's the first strike in the last 12 pitches. That pitch sails outside. Swung on and hit fair down the third base line. Into the corner the ball goes. 2 runs are going. 2 more runs have been plated for the Tricky Sticks, and that makes it a 5-run inning and makes our new score 14-8. And
Tricky Sticks almost certainly happy with the results of that, but that was another ball that he swung at.
And the next delivery to Lawson. Here's a strike called. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners are at the corners now. And the 2-2 pitch. He swings at a pitch out of the strike zone. Grounds one to the second baseman. He comes up throwing to the shortstop. He gets the force out there. Or is he safe? He's safe. Well, no, he's out. He thought that the runner missed the bag. I mean, the fielder missed the bag. They're calling the Tricky Sticks are suggesting there might have been interference. The runner is out. The umpire says no, there's no interference on that.
So the umpires reminding us that if the defense does it, it's not interference, it's obstruction. But none of it happened on this one anyway.
And here is Ricks. Swung on and popped in the air to left center field. Left field. Ball carries. Left fielder makes the catch. That's out number 2. And top of the order now in Castaneda. Marcos Castaneda. Runner at first base now. 2 outs in the inning. And that pitch is a ball 3. And the next one, that's outside. That is the 5th walk in the inning. And Porter will be the batter. He led off this inning, and he got a base hit. And he has a chance to cut into this deficit a little more here if he can deliver. First pitch to him. He let that pitch go. It's really deep for a ball. That pitch looked it was a little bit too high. The next one is inside. Ball 3 and 1 strike.
I'm going to guess he'll be watching this pitch, Rich.
I would think he would. And this the next one. That pitch is inside. Bases are loaded again. On what is the 6th walk of the inning, and Fisher the batter, Josh Fisher.
We talked about this strike zone being tight. I will also say I thought that one might have hit the inside corner.
Ball inside.
Number 3 hitter, bases loaded.
And that pitch is inside.
If he has to swing at one, he's probably going to be swinging for the fences.
And that pitch is a ball. Lopez reaches, and now Fisher the batter. A run has scored. I have 8 in the inning.
I also have 8 in the inning.
All right, Fisher the batter.
Which means our score is now 11-14. So a grand slam would put them in the lead.
Yes, it would. And that pitch is outside. The next one. That pitch is outside. 7th walk in the inning. And the 5th time they walked with the bases loaded. So that is the 9th run of the inning. Yes, no lead is ever safe. All right, first pitch to him is a ball. Next one is a strike called. 2-2. They are loaded with tricky sticks. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and bounced to third. Has a backhanded play and touches third base, and the inning is over. But 9 runs scored. 9 runs have scored in the inning, so they matched the 9 runs that were scored by Florida in the bottom of the second. 9 in the top of the third makes our new score. Team Florida 14, Long Beach Tricky Sticks 12, here on the Cloud Sports Network.
And the umpire confirming what Rich just told you there. We are going to take a moment to talk about one of our Houston-based sponsors, and that is Buddy's in Houston, often called the best gay bar in Houston. Buddy's is a bar for everyone. Located just off Montrose on Grant Street, Buddy's is a Houston institution and proud sponsor of the 2024 International Pride Softball NAGAAA Cup, having hosted our opening party on Friday night. Check them out at buddies.bar, that's buddys.bar. Hopefully we'll see some of you tonight at Buddy's.
All right, it is the 11th and 12th batters to lead off this inning for Team Florida. That's Samuels and Williams, and then the top of the order, Young. And the first pitch coming to Samuels. Gosh, that was just a long inning. And the first pitch is inside, an illegal pitch for a ball. The next one is a strike called right down the heart of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Samuels waits for the 2-2 delivery, and there it is, and he swings and lines one into right field for a base hit. Ball gets by the right fielder, goes all the way to the warning track, backed up by the right center fielder. Samuels holds at second base. He took the turn and realized better of it, that he's not fleet of foot, and so he will hold at second base. And that will bring up Williams. Williams takes a ball. And the next one is deep, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Samuels at second base, nobody out. And the 3-1 is ball 4, another walk. So it'll be first and second, back to the top of the order, and Young the batter for Fort Lauderdale.
And as we discussed, it is a tight strike zone, but it is a consistent strike zone, and both teams are getting a fair number of walks here.
And the first pitch to Young is a ball. Next one, that pitch is deep, 3-1. And this one is a ball and another walk. So they're loaded. Samuels walks to third. Williams trots on into second, and Young at first. The bases are loaded, and here comes Fort Lauderdale again. Here is Almeida.
The other thing that's hard as a pitcher is when you're getting illegal calls, what you have to do is give it more arc, but unless you can change the release, that's going to make it go deeper. And I think what you're seeing here is to be above the umpire's illegal line, they're pushing it higher, which is farther. So you got to find a way to get it up without back.
So the first 2 pitches to this batter, Almeida, are balls, and that pitch is a strike. He was taking all the way. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. The next one swung on and lifted in the air to right field. Right fielder comes in, makes the catch, and Williams will tag, or Samuels will tag, and score. And now the ball gets by the catcher on the throw-in, and the other runners will move up to second and third. Williams to third and Young to second. It'll be a sacrifice fly for Almeida. He plates the first run in the inning for...
You saw that? I saw you run all those bases. The screams and all, Mama.
At any rate, now... Yes, the screams. 1 run has scored, and McFadden the batter. Runners at second and third. The walk's heard again. First pitch is a ball. Cleanup batter is on deck, and that is Higgins. McFadden takes another pitch out of the strike zone, ball 3. And this one is deep, ball 4. Sometimes I think the pitcher has the toughest job in a softball game.
As a pitcher, I tend to agree with you.
Higgins the batter, and he swings and rifles one down the left field line, foul.
Especially when you got a tight strike zone from the umpire, I think regardless, and that wind changing with every pitch.
His strike zone is tight enough that you could probably get blood out of a turnip. All right, runners at first and third, and there is that foul lifted to the right side, hit the top of the fence, and goes to the other field. Bases are loaded.
And that is the courtesy foul rule coming into play now. So that would be 2 strikes. In other leagues, the batter would be out, but in this one, in this tournament at least, he will get 1 more swinger pitch. If it's a ball, then he'll get another one, but the next foul will be an out.
There is 1 out in the inning on a fly ball that was just caught by the right fielder, and that pitch is inside. And here's the next one. Swung on and bounced up the middle and on into center field for a hit. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Other runner holds at third. Williams and Young both score. Runs number 2 and 3 in the inning. And that makes our new score 17-12. Gosh, I hope my math is right. There's a fly ball hit deep to left center field. It's got some carry to it. Back to make the catch in front of the fence is the left center fielder. It'll be a sacrifice fly as a run scores, and on the play, the runner at first base moves to second. 4 runs in. It's 18-12.
Don't know if Newsom planned to keep that ball or if the wind did it for him. If it had gone over the fence, though, his team would not have been happy as it would have ended the inning. But by a few feet, we're still going here in the bottom of the third.
Here is Ellis, and Ellis swings and hits one in the air to left field. And the catch is made, and the inning is over. Umpire says, I got 4. I have 4 too. That makes our new score as we go to the top of the fourth. Fort Lauderdale, Team Florida, 18. They've scored in all 3 innings, as has Tricky Sticks. It is now 18-12 as we go to the top of the fourth on the Cloud Sports Network.
You mentioned pitching being a tough job, Rich. One of the things I noticed, which surprised me a little bit, is for these A and B hitters, the pitchers are not wearing masks in this tournament so far.
No.
In D, I wear a mask just to keep it from hitting me in the face because, unlike, again, some other softball leagues or tournaments, you are allowed to hit the ball up the middle here. There is no halo rule or whatever you want to call it where a line drive up the middle is an automatic out. You are sort of at risk as a pitcher because a lot of managers are going to teach their batters to hit it up the middle as a good place to get a base hit.
No, don't hit it up the middle. What do you mean? Try and get me killed, huh?
That was Don Garcia. He will be the leadoff batter for Tricky Six in the top of the fourth. And the umpire earlier, you might have heard him say that we are inside of 6 minutes to play. After this game, we will take our break and then come back with 3 more games this afternoon. And they will be bracket games.
Yes, our 2:30 game will be the 16 seed versus the 17 seed.
First pitch is a ball to Don Garcia, Jerry Garcia on deck, and that pitch is outside. And the next one, that's too deep. Oh, I guess not. Strike called. First of all, I thought it was too high. And the next one swung on and hit in the air to left field. And goodbye to that one. Home run, not anywhere near my car. So that's good. It's another run for the Tricky Six. And now the deficit is 5.
And I believe that is their first home run. So while maybe not the best to use it with nobody on, they have 2 more and they need to get 6 this inning to keep the game going. So why not get them however you can?
And the first pitch to Jerry Garcia is a ball. 2-1. Jerry Garcia takes that pitch. It looks like deep, ball 3.
Garcia's sleeve there with a touch of gray.
And that pitch is a strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The next one, that sails outside, but he went after it anyway. Hit it off the pitcher's glove. Shortstop recovers, and then he bobbles the ball. We're going to score that a base hit. I don't think that the shortstop has a play even if he fields it cleanly.
I don't think so either. I think that's the right call, and again, nice hit up the middle.
Have you ever been hit?
I have never been, thankfully, hit in the face, though a very good friend of mine was and has a sort of sunburst scar on his forehead to prove it. But I have been hit in legs and other places. All I wear is a mask. I don't wear the shin guards or anything. But my reactions aren't quite what they used to be, so that may have to happen in the future.
Ronnie Brown, the batter, takes a strike. Jerry Garcia at first base. Don Garcia has got the inning started with a home run. It's 18-13. Ronnie Brown swings and hits a high fly ball in the shallow left center field. Shortstop ranging back cannot make the play. It'll fall for a single.
Probably not what Brown had in mind, but effective just the same.
That's right. It is now first and second. And this is
This is Briseño.
Briseño.
Had that single over third base in the inning of walks.
Hansen, or rather Lawson, is the on-deck in the on-deck circle, and it looks like Aldo Cano is going to come in and maybe pinch hit for Ricks. There's a fly ball hit out into left field. The catch is made. Runner tags from second and heads to third. He is safe. The other runner moves from first to second. So it's the first out in the inning, and the runners move up into better scoring position for Lawson. One run has scored here in the top of the fourth. It is 18-13 in favor of Fort Lauderdale. And the first pitch to Lawson. He swings and goes the opposite field and foul.
Nice plan for that outside pitch. Just couldn't keep it in the field of play. Ball's back in now.
He certainly did have the right idea to do that. Boy, that's a fine art when you can go opposite field consistently. Here is the 1-2. Swung on and lined into right field, and that ball is in for a hit. 2 runs are going to score as Garcia and Brown both come across the plate. Runs number 2 and 3 in the inning, and that makes the score 18-15.
So Cano actually has played in San Diego for a number of years. Used to play with our B team, the Loft B.
Yes, I remember him.
We don't have a B team in San Diego anymore, but he can certainly hit the fences with the right pitch.
And there's a long fly ball hit out into center field, and that ball is going to get down. It's going to go all the way to the fence on 3 hops. Lawson to third. He will be held. No runner, as they call out there, because he decided that with 1 out, best to just stay where I am. It'll be a double for Cano, and it is now runners at second and third, and the tying run comes to the plate, Marcos Castaneda.
Castaneda with 2 walks today, but may have some power, but I agree with the call at third base. No reason to risk it out there when now you have the tying run at the plate.
And the time has run out. I can hear the beat. Time has run out.
So we will still finish the inning. The Tricky Sticks are the visitors, so even if they tie this up or get ahead, Team Florida will get their last at bat.
So the first pitch was a ball, the second pitch was a strike, the third pitch is swung on and bounced up the middle and into center field for a hit. 1 run will score. Lawson comes across the plate to score the 4th run in the inning. Cano held at third. He's not very fast and didn't want to do anything silly. Porter the batter. There is still just the 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. And it is 18. I have 18-16.
16, yep.
And the first pitch to Porter is a ball outside. And the next one is a strike call, taking all the way 2-2. And the next delivery, swung on and hit high and deep to left center field. It's back to the fence and gone. 3-run home run.
And that will give the Tricky Sticks, I believe, at 19-18, their first lead since the first inning.
There is still just the 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning.
And that is only their second home run, so they got 1 more ball to put over the fence if they choose to.
Alfred Lopez will be the batter. His team has scored 7 times this inning. First pitch is a ball. Just the 1 out here, and that pitch is a strike called. It's 2-2. So Fort Lauderdale will have to get at bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They'll get their at bat since they are the visitor. This ball is hit out in the left center field, and the left center fielder comes in and makes the catch, and it's out number 2. Catch made out there by Rodriguez. And the batter will be the right center fielder, Fisher, Josh Fisher. Nobody on. There's a ground ball hit up the middle and on into center field for a base hit. 2 outs, runner at first. 7 runs have come across in this inning. It's the kind of game I love.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to love a game like this. The first pitch, swing and a grounder to short on one hop. They'll throw to second, and that's it. However, 7 runs came across for Tricky Six here in the top of the 4th. Fort Lauderdale needs 1 to tie and 2 to win in the bottom of the 4th. Our score right now is 19-18 in favor of the Long Beach Tricky Six on the Cloud Sports Network.
And we will take a moment here in the middle of the 4th to talk about USGSN. The United States Gay Sports Network invites you to come out and play. USGSN is America's largest LGBTQ plus sports directory that highlights every league and tournament in the country. If you want to find a league or tournament by and for the LGBTQ plus community and its allies, then head over to usgsn.com. The network currently features 930 LGBTQ plus leagues, 44 different sports in 42 states and 94 cities. Visit usgsn.com and follow all your favorite social media platforms with the sign @USGSN.
All right, here in the bottom of the 4th inning, again, Fort Lauderdale Team Florida needs a run to tie. They need 2 to win. They will bat Jackson, Rodriguez, and Santana.
And just a reminder, Team Florida has used all their home runs. So if you're thinking they can jack one and tie this game up, that would actually be an inning ending out and hand it over to the Tricky Sticks if they have, at least if they haven't scored any other runs. So they need to hit hard balls for singles, but not home runs.
And Rodriguez agreed with you as you were making that. First pitch is a ball. This is Jackson, and he takes the pitch low, ball 3. Three and 1. And the next one is a ball, and so the tying run on first via the walk, and that'll bring up Rodriguez. Rodriguez followed in the order by Santana.
And again, interesting, if you're a power hitter, you might try to hit it on the ground to keep it out of the air.
That's what I would do.
But you might also ground into a double play.
That first pitch is a strike. And the next pitch, he goes opposite field, and it's foul. But he had the right idea, too. There's a discussion going on to the left of home plate between the home plate umpire and I guess the man talking is the coach. In all but one player in the Florida dugout out on the field rooting for their team. Here's the next pitch to Rodriguez, and that pitch is inside. The next one is another ball.
Looked like that one was deep, but over the plate.
Yeah. And this pitch, oh my goodness, that pitch, not going to say anything. That pitch is a ball, and it's the tying run at second and the winning run at first on back-to-back walks. There'll be a pinch runner, a courtesy runner at second base for Jackson.
And just a reminder, as we watch this close game, if you're watching on Facebook, please let family members, friends know this game is going on. They can still catch whatever happens here in the bottom of the 4th.
Santana the batter.
And after this game, we will take a break while the tournament gets seeded. We will be back with you for the first game of the tournament that we're going to cover. At around 2:30, sometimes they get started faster. You may want to check in, and that will be the 16 versus the 17 seed.
There's a ground ball off the first baseman's glove, deflected to the second baseman. There is no play. The ball gets by the second baseman. Santana hit the ball to the right side. It glanced off the first baseman's glove to the second baseman. He turned and tried to make a play at shortstop, but the ball got past the shortstop and went all the way down the left field line into foul territory. And by the time the left fielder came up with it, the 2 runs they needed had scored, and that makes our final score the Fort Lauderdale Team Florida 20 and the Long Beach Tricky Sticks 19. The walks hurt. Because there's nothing going on right now. I think this is the last, there's a game behind us going on, but we are going to get our break here. And as Joel said, at about 2:30, if not sooner, we will take the number 16 seed against the number 17 seed. We don't know who the seeds are right now, but we will at some point. And then at 3:35, seed 8 against seed 25. And then at 4:40, the number 1 seed will take on seed number 13 or 16 or 17. I'll let them get that all figured out because that sounds a little complicated. But nevertheless, we will talk to you again at approximately 2:30. If they start the game sooner, that's when we will join you here on the Cloud Sports Network.